Hello, my name is Gabe the Babe.
Otherwise known as Ellie.
Ellie Presco.
I am Nina Arnone.
Yeah, you are. And welcome to Office Hours.
Right here. Oh, God. Right as it starts rolling. Devastating. Horrendous. What?
I got a note at the top that said, actual recording is higher quality.
Yeah, that's a lie because it's this show, so.
I was like,
it's kind of rude.
Suspicious.
Can I tell you two really insanely stupid things that I did this week?
Yeah, I'd love to hear them.
Okay, cool. So.
And judge.
Yeah. So this is it's the day of the hike, but it has nothing to do with the hike. So
Sunday,
the day of the Lord, who was not there for me in this instance or for the rest of the fucking day because my butt still feels like it's filled with rocks. We drove 2 hours north. We drove to New Hampshire to get to this mountain to hike. Yeah. Long trip. I need gas. Pull up to a mobile station, which, you must think this will be by the book. So
standard experience
of pumping gas. It's not like New Jersey.
Nothing remarkable. Ugh,
dude,
doesn't get talked about enough.
It does not. Totally agree. So I get out of the car, and I pay for the gas. I put it in, I go, and it's going so slowly, like unbelievably slowly, like trickling.
Got an empty tanker.
Yeah, it's something. Well, so I thought. So of course, I don't know the terminology, but I was getting really cold because it was so windy. I was like, I need to sit in the car. And I have it hook onto one of the little thingies in the pump,
Mm-hmm.
and I get into the car and I'm sitting there chatting away, still looking at the meter. I will say this, as stupid as I can be, which this experience did teach me that there are no limits to that for me. At least I have a good memory. So
you have a very good memory.
For my car, I know that a full tank is about 16 gallons and it totals around $65. My car, though, I will say, gets incredible gas mileage. So I literally pay for gas maybe once a month because of how great the gas mileage is. So,
and that you don't drive it every day.
And also that, I barely touch it.
But you don't drive.
That's neither here nor there. I drive at least once a week. But yeah, that might be contributing to But I'll be tuned in when I move.
16 isn't bad at all. Still, that's fine.
I wait until I move. When I move, I might come back to this topic and be like, you wouldn't fucking believe Trump fucking everyone over in that department. We could go on about how many more, but
such a good accent.
Oh my God, I'm flattered. I honestly
a good impression.
I was not expecting to get such a positive reaction. Thank you.
I'd never expect Jennifer Coolidge to be political, but take a stand.
She can do anything. But true. So anyway, I have those numbers locked in my head and I'm just watching it and it's still going so slowly. I'm like, this is so annoying. We were sitting there for almost 20 minutes. It was the longest gas pumping experience of my life. So
this was before the hike or after the hike?
Before, already an omen suggesting what's to come. And so I kind of want, you're drinking a hot drink and I kind of want one too.
I'll tell you why. It's coffee, and it is late to be having coffee, but
that's okay.
Why after?
Yeah. So
nice.
It hits 16 gallons. So I'm like, okay, even if this isn't a full tank, this is ridiculous. This is a 2-hour drive without this weird intermission. So I walk out, I go around to the pump. Gas is pouring from my car. It's like a flood. I have a little monocle up to my eye and I can see Noah's Ark, like really miniature, like over the waves of gas that is like pouring, like spouting everywhere.
How much? What did the meters say?
I paid $66. I paid $66 for that full tank of gas, but I basically go and then grab it, and it's still spewing gas all over my hand, and I'm kind of like and I like have to like unlock it from the like thing, and it eventually stops, and I like quickly like throw the pump back and like spray hand sanitizer all over my hand, but it was still on my boots, so I come in smelling reeking of gas. And my partner
station? Or you come into your car?
I come into my car.
Oh, you didn't tell them that you sprayed gas everywhere?
I ran the fuck out of there. I was like, I was so embarrassed. I was absolutely humiliated. And I go in, my partner's there.
Stopped.
I know. Okay, thank you. I thought maybe I was being such an idiot, but I was waiting to hear the click. I didn't hear the click. It didn't stop. It literally was like pouring out of my car. So I get in, I reek of gas. My partner is like, he like breathes in and he's like, what happened? Because things smell different than they did. And I explain to him what happened, and he like opens the door and like peers around, and he's like, we got to get out of here. Like, we didn't rob them. Acting like this is a high
gas.
But I won't turn on the car because this thought enters my head. I'm like, it's going to explode. There's too much gas. The car is going to explode. And it takes him like, I think, a full 30 seconds to convince me that the car simply will not explode.
I'd be nervous.
I wasn't convinced.
Would cross my mind.
Yeah. And so anyway, it ended up
cars
being
like that.
Yeah. Are you kidding? No. I just push the little button and it turns on for me. If I push the button and nothing happens, I'm calling the police. I don't know how to problem solve that. Like, so we drive out of there, and despite it being an insane situation, I had a full tank of gas. It said I had 600 miles on this particular pump. Normally my car will max out at like 500. It was like slurping those extra drops. And I paid $1 more than I usually do for literally getting jizzed on by the mobile station. So it honestly, I felt like such a buffoon, but we were truly in the middle of nowhere, and like nobody came out, and the irony was the pump next to us said out of order, and I was like, I bet you I know why it was. So anyway, that was the first one. Then the second one happened today, and it was, I have these ugly little chacne things. So I went to an esthetician today because I, have the complexion of printer paper. For those who don't watch, you can deduce that from my voice alone. And so I don't pick because I'm so fair. I know it'll scar. So I do, I pay a very lovely lady to just like get them out for me. And so I was walking back from that. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get a little chicken Caesar wrap. I get that. My day's great. I go in to my apartment. I get into my apartment fine. And then I can't find my keys for like 3 hours. And I'm like,
after you've gotten in?
After I've gotten. So I'm like, I know I have them because how am I here? But I literally, and eventually I was like, you know what? I was going to wait for my partner to like come in and help me look, because I was like, I cannot find them. And he comes into the apartment, he opens the door, and I like go to greet him, and then he just like pulls my keys out from the lock.
I was gonna ask if you left them in the door.
And he was like, don't do this, just gently. And I was like, that's where they were. It's like, well, they're in a like correct spot, anatomically speaking.
It's where they go.
It's where they go. So anyway, those were my two dumb moments of the week. I'm sure there'll be more.
The first one was not your fault. That's crazy. The
Thank
sensor was
you.
broken.
Okay. I actually
they
feel a
always-
lot better.
I just got gas a couple of days ago. Clicked it, went over and talked to Kyle, and then came back when it stopped because it stops.
I've only, up until this point, only ever experienced gas stopping when the car is full.
It's full, and they say when it stops, don't top it off.
Yes. And I
They're
never
like,
do.
When it stops, it's supposed to stop.
Yeah,
And
I topped
top it
it
off
off
until it's at an even number.
Yeah. Yes. Correct. Apparently, I topped it off to fill 2 of my cars.
Yeah, just
is
another
apparently
car.
what occurred. So
Yeah.
I felt bad. It felt so wasteful, but I
mean, it was an accident.
Yeah.
It's not on purpose.
It was like a sea of lean. It was insane.
That is crazy.
Yeah. It was really scary. I was like, we cannot walk near fire for like the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Because I'll die.
You should wash your car.
I know. I'm going to.
I mean, it's probably off of it now, but I
Yeah.
would probably want to do that anyway.
I still want to. She's a little dusty. Winter wasn't
Winter.
kind.
Apparently, especially up north, you should get your car washed regularly because the salt
Mm-hmm.
can erode your undercarriage.
I'm sorry. Don't talk about my undercarriage. It's exfoliating.
That's what it's called. And you're
That's-
supposed to get it washed because it can make your car just not last as long. So
Yeah. No, I believe that. That makes sense. Yeah, I'll do it. It's so hard. It's not hard, but in a city, I swear, like you never see a gas station. You never see a car wash.
Yeah, I can't. I lived there for 2 years. I can't think of where a car wash is.
I've never.
I can
and
tell
it-
you 7 on my way home from work.
Of course,
here.
absolutely. As
But I
is typical
have
when
no
you're
idea.
living in like a more burby area, I feel like.
Mhm.
But even like
So I don't
Manhattan,
know where you- Yeah, I don't know where you'd
like
go.
surely they I know they exist. I'm not.
There has to be
you
a
know,
car wash there.
there's a limit to my stupidity, but in my quarter of a century of being on this planet, I have never seen a gas station in a city ever.
Well, I've seen gas stations. I haven't seen car washes.
I saw this TikTok the other day. It was this morning. And it was like, oh my gosh, I wish I could remember what the caption was, but it was this girl doing a skit, and it was like how like Bostonians are wrong in all the right ways. And it was this girl doing a skit of this guy cursing out his neighbor. It was like classic Bostonian, like insane accent, like fighting the urge to call the neighbor the F slur and the R slur at the same time. Like just like, but then part of it is ICE shows up to the guy and is like, do you know your neighbor? And he's like, that fucking piece of shit? Yeah, I know him. And then ICE is like, we have reason to believe that your neighbor is here illegally, and we're wondering if you can give us any information. And the Bostonian is like, why the fuck are you on my fucking lawn asking about my fucking neighbor? That's my piece of shit neighbor. Get the fuck out of here. Like, and it was like, and all the comments were like, you know, at the core, we're right, even though we're garbage about it. I was like, that's so true.
That's so funny.
Yeah. It made me chuckle. Yeah. Yeah.
That makes me think of like all the Bill Burr stuff I've been seeing recently.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had this one thing where he was talking with Howie Mandel.
Are you thinking of the bald man?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So Bill Burr has like a young daughter, a really young daughter, and Howie, I guess, has children, which I didn't know.
Interesting.
And he said something to Bill Burr about like, oh, just wait till she gets older, like it'll be so bad. And Bill Burr was like, everyone who says that failed is a father. Just said it like right to his face. He's like, everyone who tells me that failed.
That's so funny.
I was like, oh. So, that was funny.
So, why are you drinking coffee?
So my coffee.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to eat better, and not just like generally, but also like get better products and stuff like that.
Nice.
And the more I learn, the more I find it's impossible. And it's not like a perfect system, but it's just like generally, like I learned, I mean, I've known this, but now I have the money to like do it a bit.
Mhm.
Some of it I'm like, no.
Right.
$7 for like a sliver of cheese. I'm like, no.
That fucking like thing that like turns your compost into soil, and it's $550.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, so no.
Yep. So I'm not doing
But like I learned of they're called the Dirty Dozen, and it's produce that you should always get organic because it always tests with like multiple pesticides and stuff.
Mm.
It's like if you can't get everything organic,
Oh, this is like
these are
the
the ones you
core.
should.
I see. Yeah.
So those ones I try to do, and it's like apples, or just raspberries, broccoli.
Oh, yeah.
Things that are like I want to say like porous, but that's probably the wrong word. But you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, my mom has always said that anything where you eat the skin is
It's kind of that.
you should get organic.
That kind
but
of
oranges have a skin, but maybe because they are more porous
so
and they
much.
absorb it.
It might be oranges. I think it is. It's definitely apples, which was a hard hit for me.
Well,
because I
yeah,
love them
because
so much. So those
nice.
eggs, I am now only getting pasture raised eggs.
Mm.
Because I learned even organic is like not as good for you, because it's not so much about like organic or not, it's about how the chickens are treated.
Yeah, I don't know why I furrowed my brow at you there, because I do the exact same thing for the same reason.
Yeah, I was like, we've discussed this.
Yeah, I know. Sorry.
So with, because like even if it's like farm, if it'll say like farm raised, it could still be raised in a huge facility on a farm and never leave that.
Yeah.
So the only way you know they're good is the pasture raised.
Yeah.
And it's, realistically, at this point, it's only like $1 more with the way eggs are now.
It's worth it. Like it's.
But then I also learned with those eggs, the pasture raised one have like 10 times the amount of nutrients in them. They have double the omega 3s, the one that you want. There's omega 3 and omega 6, and one is better for you. And the pasture raised one, I mean, I guess they're both good, but one is like the one you really want. Pasture raised has like twice as many.
Yeah.
So like you don't eat as much. You can visibly see it because the yolks are way oranger.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes
they look fucking red. No, they're great. They're really good.
Filling. And it's like, for how much better they are for you, it's worth $1, maybe $2.
Yeah.
Of how much more it is. And then they last longer because you don't eat as many. Except if I'm like baking something, I still get the other eggs. I'll get like a small pack.
Yeah, because you'll also, with baking, you need like sometimes, depending on the size, like fucking 4 eggs,
like 6 egg yolks.
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, that's super wasteful. So
yeah.
I'm not using half a dozen of the pasture-raised ones. Yeah. So I use those for that. But another thing, so this has been a journey of things that I've been trying to do, and another one is finding out that in the US, we do not regulate coffee at all.
Right.
Not tough news, because I love it.
Yeah.
Coffee can get moldy.
Yeah, I know.
And the moldy ones get sold to the US. And there's like a huge long list of it. So I'm trying to find, well, the coffee I was drinking I think is fine, but I'm trying others out just to make sure. Because I was talking to someone else about this, and it was like, sometimes organic is kind of a scam.
Right.
Because they don't use the pesticides that they're told they can't, so they can claim organic, but they just use other pesticides that aren't regulated. So sometimes it can be a scam, but it's more of like, either it's possibly contaminated or it definitely is contaminated.
Yeah.
So like, I don't think everything needs to be organic. Like there's some things where I'm like, it's like, sometimes you see like things like milk that say they're like gluten-free, and you're like, yeah, it should be. That's not a brag.
Yeah. Let's not make up problems that aren't there and then pretend we solved them.
But so I'm trying out different coffees, and I tried out this organic bag because it was on sale. It was like $10, and I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I get this bag. It is not as strong as the coffee I was drinking, which was very strong.
Right.
Because I was drinking Cafe Bustelo, which I believe is on the list of not they don't have moldy stuff. But I
Interesting.
didn't confirm it, and I needed more coffee, so I was like, oh, I'll try other stuff. Also, I don't know if I need to be having that strong of coffee every day. It is super duper strong.
Well, you did grow up in a household where the coffee that was being brewed looked like tar and had the consistency of said tar. You saw Gremlins?
Yeah.
You've seen Gremlins? Do you remember Billy's dad invented this like coffee maker that's supposed to like automatic, and it like comes out and it literally looks like chocolate syrup?
Mm-hmm.
That is what your father's daily mug looks like. Your father's daily pour
3 times a day.
is that fucking syrup. That's just
Yeah, but the thing is with his, he drinks dark roast, so it's not as strong.
Oh,
So
I
it
see.
looks like that, but the dark roast is burnt, so it's the least caffeinated.
Are you drinking blonde roast?
Right now, no, I have a medium roast because I like medium. Because light roast is fine, but it's barely roasted, so there's not much flavor. But it's the most caffeinated. Blonde is a good combination of them, but that is not sold in bags at stores. And if it is, it's Starbucks, and I refuse to drink Starbucks because they have moldy coffee.
Their coffee's also bad. They burn the beans.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna. I think they're the only ones with blonde roast. I think they coined that. Could be wrong. So I like medium because I feel like that's the best spot. So this is medium roast,
Nice.
which means it is pretty caffeinated. But what I was drinking was espresso roast, so
I see.
very strong. Yeah. Jessie had it. I went up, or she helped me, pack up from Buffalo when I moved. And I gave her a cup in the morning when we were.
Now, why would you do that?
She drinks coffee now because she's a mom.
Okay.
But she just puts a lot of creamer in it, and I had creamer, so I was like, okay. So I gave it to her, but my coffee is way stronger than Dad's because Dad drinks dark roast
tar.
So she drank like 2 sips of it, and she was like, my heart is just racing. She was like, I feel like I have so much energy. And then I started to take a sip, and I was like, what did I do?
Right.
So I explained to her, I was like, it's the coffee. It is really, really strong. And now she drinks it every day.
Oh, wow. Okay. I was just going to say, I know that she's a mom now, but she's always had like a pretty severe caffeine sensitivity.
She just never liked coffee. She always drank soda.
Right. Yeah.
Which, like with the caffeine. She didn't like coffee. Now she drinks it because it's more convenient. And I think she starts to like it. But she does put cream in it. But that's because she enjoys life. So
black coffee forever. Wakanda forever.
So anyway, that's why I'm drinking a cup of coffee, because I'm super tired and
makes sense.
It was a long day.
Yeah, it sounds like
no tornado, but
I'm glad. I was nervous.
I didn't think there was going to be honest. I guess people were annoyed because a lot of areas canceled school because of it, and then it stopped raining by 11 a.m. Yeah, everyone was pretty surprised because tornadoes don't really happen here. And then they put on the sirens, and it was windy, but I've been in way worse storms. So that was kind of crazy. But so not enough coffee. So I'm having one.
I want, because I said it was a game, and it wasn't. But we ended our last episode on talking about rom-coms, or specifically Anyone But You.
Anyone But You.
Which I haven't seen, and based on that review, never will.
It's just disappointing for how good all of those actors are.
Right.
I don't know, maybe they had fun making it.
Yeah. But I thought it would be fun because your genre in movie land, if we were to assign to us genres that we enjoy, I would say are rom-coms for you. You love
or drama. Yeah.
Right. But for the sake of what I've prepared, it's rom-coms.
Okay.
So, and then mine is horror. So I figured for this episode, because rom-coms are not really my jam. I don't really like them. I have no judgment towards anyone who likes them. They're just not. I'm like, where are the decapitations? Where are the stabbings?
And that's how I feel about horror. I'm watching it and I'm like, where's the lighthearted joke?
It's coming. You just
why is my heart racing?
because you had that fucking espresso roast.
Why am I scared to go to bed?
Yeah, that is a side effect. But I thought it would be fun if I have compiled a list of rom-coms that I actually like. And it's called I Hate Rom-Coms, but These Are Actually Good. And I figured we could just go through them because I am like
I bet I already know him.
100% positive that really? You think you'd wait, this might be so much more fun. Can you guess?
Yeah.
Okay.
Number 1 is When Harry Met Sally. That's your
Dude,
favorite.
that's so creepy. Yes.
That's your favorite. I know that.
It's my favorite. But I mean, to me, it is miles above like a rom-com. It is a classic film about people and relationships and the confusion of being slightly sexually attracted to Billy Crystal for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
And then like coming out of it and being like, what happened?
Yeah.
So
See, I feel like my favorite genre is drama with romance as like one of the main plot lines.
I see.
So like When Harry Met Sally is like barely a rom-com. It is. But it's like an actual film.
Right.
It's certainly not Anyone But You.
No.
Which is why I don't watch too many rom-coms if I know it's going to be super bad.
Fair.
And I watched Anyone But You because everyone talked about it so much because I love those actors. And I was sitting for 2 hours giving plasma. So I was like, sure. I probably would have watched it either way, but yeah. Mm-hmm. But like the super cringy ones, if I already know it's going to be, I don't. So Harry Met Sally is your first. Mm-hmm. Second is oh my god, The Setup.
So The Setup is in there. The Setup is fourth.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So that makes Crazy Stupid Love 2.
3.
Damn it.
But I mean, you're doing so much better than I ever expected. I don't think you're gonna get it. I don't know
because I'm thinking like The Holiday is really good, but you don't like The Holiday as much.
I've never seen The Holiday.
So good. You're gonna be really confused because you'll be attracted to Jack Black for 90 minutes.
That is a pickle, isn't it?
That's confusing.
Is confusing.
He's phenomenal in his role.
I love Jack Black. I just never, feel sexual about him.
It's a very weird dynamic to put Jude Law and Jack Black as co-male leads.
Right. And be sexually attracted to both of them, arguably at the same level.
Yeah, and be like, man, these are both great. So, okay, well, if you watched The Holiday, I think it would be on that list, but probably like 5. I don't think it would
trailer a bunch of times, and I am intrigued by it.
You should watch it. It's fun.
Yeah. Well, I love Kate Winslet, so
yeah, she's great in it. Mm-hmm. She's so emotionally unstable, and it's really funny.
Love it.
There's a movie I'm thinking of, and I can't think of what it's called. And I just recently watched it. Well, I can think of the trailer because I like went past it recently on Netflix, where the guy's in the airport, and he's like, "I've always loved the airport because there's like love and it's a bunch of relationships. It has Keira Knightley, and she has the wedding thing.
Yeah, you're thinking
there's the guy with the cards.
Love Actually.
I just watched that recently, actually. For the first time, maybe 6 months ago. Maybe that wouldn't be on your list.
So people love it, my mother included. I watched it like a couple of years ago, and it was definitely overhyped for me because I was substantially underwhelmed by it.
It's just a fine movie. It's nice.
I think it, for when it came out, it makes sense that it got as much success as it did. Also, fucking love Emma Thompson and Alan Rickman. Not as character, but Alan Rickman.
Yeah.
So I love, basically that cast is star-studded, but seeing it as a teen, I was kind of like, okay.
That's fair. If it's overhyped for you, because I just watched it, and I was like, that was nice. A good use of time. You like Notting Hill.
I've never seen Notting Hill. You have this narrative in your head that I have seen Notting Hill.
It's because your mom loves Notting Hill,
Yes, and my mom also accuses me of having watched Notting
right?
Hill. I don't know what this is, this reputation that follows me around.
You should watch it. It's
I'm a
fun.
woman of so many different things, and yet the only thing that people can pin on me is something that I didn't do, something that is not of my doing.
Like a much larger complaint about your life.
I have never seen Notting Hill. I'm stating it publicly.
I'll forget.
People need. I know. People need to stop accusing me of watching Notting Hill and accusing me of thinking that it's bad. Well, this is a bigger thing than me just solving an issue by watching this film.
Just watch the movie. You love to watch a movie.
I do.
What was I thinking? Pretty Woman?
I've never seen Pretty Woman. Stop doing this.
So you've just never seen movies.
I have a list right here.
All right, I'm out. What's your number 2?
Pretty in Pink.
No!
I was just going to say, I was like, I don't think you're going to get it, but I think you're going to be frustrated when you find out what it is.
I should have, and I know you love it. You know why? I've been meaning to watch Pretty in Pink again because it's been a while since I've seen it, and Kyle's never seen it. And
Kyle's going to love it.
I know. And he keeps thinking it's 16 Candles, and I'm like, no, 16 Candles suck. But it's the same girl.
Yeah. 16 Candles is racist and bad, but it does also have Molly Ringwald in it.
Yeah. I'm like, no. He's like, I've seen it. I'm like, no, you've seen 16 Candles.
You haven't seen Candles.
Every time I go online, it's still not available on anything. And
really?
I don't want to pay to watch it. And so I just keep pushing it off until someone's going to have it back on one of their streaming services.
I think I own it if you want to break into my Apple.
I have a Roku. Would I still be able to?
Mm-hmm. You could just download Apple on Roku and then log into my account.
I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
And then we can watch it. Okay.
Yeah.
And
if I have access to all the movies that my mother has bought, which are literally hundreds.
Yeah. You know what that would be really good for as well? We've been meaning to watch all of the Conjuring universe.
Say no more.
And I was like, and we watched 2 of them and we were watching them in order.
Right.
And I think he hasn't seen all of them. And I was like, these are the only horror movies that I like to repeatedly watch.
Yes.
They are fantastic. And I think he hasn't seen all of them, but he knows the plot line of all of them. And he he's not sure which ones he has or hasn't seen. And I was like, Ellie, and we watched 2 of them, and then whatever the third on our list wasn't available. And I was like, this is so annoying because Ellie owns all of them.
Yeah, I'll give you my password because I fucking love the Conjuring movies. I truly believe that the first Conjuring is why horror is now getting more respect and recognition.
You're probably right. They're so good.
Yeah. Not to say that there weren't amazing horror movies out before, but that I think was the turning point of, like you can make a movie that's super scary, but also has like likable characters and interesting relationships and a plot.
Yeah.
And like good writing, and like you can have your cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're probably right there. So we have to watch those. All right, so that's your list.
Well,
was there more on there?
There was more on there. So it was When Harry Met Sally, then Pretty in Pink, then Crazy Stupid Love, then Set It Up. I know this technically.
Set It Up is 4. You love Set It Up. I put that above Crazy Stupid Love.
I like Crazy Stupid Love better because the part when Steve Carell is getting overwhelmed by all the changes he has to make in his life to move on from Julianne Moore, and he like kind of like faints forward in the locker room, and Ryan Gosling is sitting in front of him naked, and he faints into Ryan Gosling's dick. That is one of the funniest things I've ever fucking seen in my life.
Yeah, I will say the Ryan Gosling Steve Carell bromance in it is actually quite
beautiful. It's beautiful. Also, the first night that Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling spend together, where they literally don't have sex, they just like sit up all night talking and laughing. Cheers.
I know you were obsessed with that.
Cheers. Yeah, because that's
the
fucking beautiful.
The first time I watched Crazy Stupid Love was with you, I think.
Was it? Oh, so good. I watched it at 12 years old on my Kindle Fire. My life has changed forever.
Yeah, okay, maybe it gets 3.
It does for me, at least. I do love Set It Up, but I gotta pay homage to,
I don't know if When Harry Met Sally would be my number 1.
That's fair. I feel like sometimes, not sometimes, but for some people, it has like too much going on to really like be a rom-com necessarily. Like if you're looking for a rom-com specifically, When Harry Met Sally might not pop into your head first off.
I think it's just sometimes Sally annoys me.
That's fair. Sally does not annoy me because
she is you.
Yes.
You are Sally.
Yes.
No, it's not like the things that you're like, Sally, that annoy me. It's how she's so whiny.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's what annoys me. I do love the movie, but I don't know.
Yeah. But you can,
But you're Sally with the way she eats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Correct. I would argue that I am far more polite about it than she is, but
yeah, and that's also
a little. It does like I agree with what she's ordering. It's like that meme of like when you're like at your friend's house and you see the way she talks to her mom, and it's like Nicki Minaj, like that's how I feel about Sally talking to a waiter. I'm like, oh my god, you're asking for so many changes. Say please, be nice. God, yeah. Jesus Christ.
All right, what else? So 4 is Set It Up. What's 5?
Juno.
I've never seen that.
It's really good. I really, really like it. There's like a trend going around of like watching Juno as a teenager and then watching Juno again as an adult. And like the movie is still really good and really funny, but your perspective wildly changes.
Yeah, I bet.
Like the things that you thought were cute are not cute. They're predatory and creepy. And
yeah, I don't know this movie at all.
It's really, do you like know what it's about? So
I mean, I can guess from the title of Juno.
So yeah, and it's
take a wild guess.
You know the name of the main character is what.
No, she's a teen. She's teen pregnant.
Yes,
right?
Yeah,
that's Juno. That's like a term.
Oh really? I thought it was literally the allusion to the movie. Like, Make Me Juno. I thought was like alluding.
You know what?
To
I've heard of this, and I thought it was a TV show.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, Elliot Page plays Juno.
Juno is like a phrase. You know the Sabrina Carpenter song, Juno?
I thought
like, you can make me Juno.
I thought she was alluding to the movie Juno. I thought the phrase Juno was coined by the 2007 film.
It may have been. As far as I know, the term Juno comes from the goddess of marriage, the Roman goddess of marriage. That's why it's Juno.
Hold on.
Childbirth.
Yeah. Is Juno a term? I feel like that's... you are absolutely right. Yes, refer to the Roman goddess. Juno was the Roman queen of heaven, goddess of light, birth, women, and marriage.
Or Hera. It's Hera. It's the same.
Yeah. Fascinating. Okay.
So I always thought it came from that.
Yeah. I feel like Sabrina Carpenter is definitely still alluding to the movie.
She's definitely using the movie got the title
from the myth. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. The more you know, guys. And, this podcast is somehow not listed as educational.
It's only an educational.
It's only...
I don't really know.
I know. I gotta fix that.
I never watched that because I thought it was a TV show, and I was like, I'm not starting a whole show.
Well, yeah, you'll have to start it, but it'll only cost you about 90 minutes of your life. So
I can sacrifice that.
Yeah, I highly recommend. It's really, really good, and everyone in it is awesome. No clue. Oh wait, I think Letterboxd can tell you.
I can see it on Google right here. It's on Hulu and Disney.
Nice.
When you look up a movie or a TV show on Google, they have a section of like watch movie, and it'll show you all the. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just on Letterboxd right now, so I'm just basing it off.
Is that where you rate movies and judge them?
I do. If anyone would like to follow me on Letterboxd, feel free. Yeah, I mean, my brother and I don't really look at each other's ratings. He calls me once a month, and then we catch up on what we've rated. Takes us like a fucking hour, but it's great. So, the next one is About Time.
I hate About Time.
What is wrong with you?
A horrible movie with a horrible message.
What?
I watched that. My sister loves that movie too,
Why do you
Alexa,
hate that? Why do
she
you hate it?
loves it, and so I watched it, and I was like, this is the worst message. Why would anyone like this?
What is even the
He
what?
manipulates everyone in his life to get exactly what he wants because things don't work out exactly how he wants them to. So then he just changes everything so that people have no free will of what they're doing, and no matter the outcome, he changes it to get what he wants.
But
That's a narcissist.
He doesn't always get what he wants. Remember when he has that time mix up and he ends up losing one of his kids?
No. No, I was so angry watching this movie.
You blacked out from rage and missed the part where he learns that that's bad to do.
But his dad told him anyway. His dad told him, "Don't do that. Don't manipulate
Yes,
people."
at the beginning
his dad
of the
was
movie.
and his dad was great because he was like, "I just go back in time so I can read all the books I want to read,
Right.
but I leave everything else alone." And his son's like, "Well, the pretty girl doesn't like me."
Right. Which
so
was
then
at
he
the
forces
beginning.
her to like him.
It wouldn't be an interesting movie if his dad said all that and then Dom Hall Gleason was just like, "Yeah, all right, I won't."
Okay, well, I still don't like it.
That's fine. I love the movie. The scene where he has to accept that his father is going to die and cannot go back in time to change the outcome of that. And so the final moment together is when he's a kid and they go on the beach. Are you telling me that didn't fucking melt your heart?
No, it was just annoying to me.
Oh my god.
He's the most unlikable character. What? So he finally learns his lesson because he has horrible experiences happen to him. That is lacking empathy. That is someone who severely cannot adjust to the reality around them.
I don't think lacking empathy is mourning the loss of your child, losing your child.
He gives the people around him no free will. And not until it's specifically happening to him does he change.
I feel like we can say that about a lot of people.
They're bad people too.
I feel like that's a very human thing, though, of like, I wish it wasn't. No, but like I think it makes a very interesting point about your world is very small. And then until something, I'm not saying this is the way to be either. And I won't be a character's name that Dom Hall Gleason plays in About Time apologist necessarily. But I do think it's an interesting point about, in addition to everything else that the movie kind of explores, like you learn from experience. You learn from things happening to you. And
yeah, it's
not right, but it's what happens. And I mean, if we're going to see a white man on the screen, how do we think he's going to learn things? From asking other people? No. So
I mean, yeah. It's interesting. It's an interesting movie. I just don't like him.
Fair enough.
And so I watched that movie and I was like, I won't watch it again.
That's fair. I loved it. But I loved it for Bill Nye. I love Bill Nye.
Yeah. What was another movie? Another rom-com that was really good? Leap Year.
I did not watch Leap Year, no, but I hear it's terrible. Is it good?
It's good.
Okay.
It's rom-com good.
Right.
It's hilarious. It's this New Yorker girl trying to traipse around Scotland, and the guy with her is so mean to her in the funniest way. That's awesome. That he just like doesn't help her, and he just watches her struggle, and he's like,
nice.
I think it's so funny. It's predictable and cringy.
Well,
in some ways, but
I'm not going to fault a rom-com for following the formula,
Yeah, but it's good. People who say it's horrible, that's what I say about Time.
Yeah, we know.
I stand by it.
Speaking of very unlikable protagonists, The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I don't consider that a rom-com.
I guess it technically isn't, but it just has the like atmosphere of a rom-com. Also, you're telling me that her boyfriend is not the hunkiest man you've ever seen. He makes her
guy.
Grilled cheeses.
But he's the real villain of that story.
No, he's not. Oh, no, he's not.
You don't think so? Have you heard
I'm a Nate defender. Is that his name? I'm a Nate defender until the day that I die.
She is advancing in her career. She is working hard. She is pushing herself, and he thinks she loves him less because of it. That is gaslighting. He gaslights her all throughout the movie.
She, like, listen, it's okay to change. It's okay to be career driven. Absolutely. But I believe that she was not drawn to the career itself as much as she liked the status and the doors it opened. I think the reason why she liked it was for the wrong reasons. And so,
Maybe. It's a fair
like,
argument.
because, like, she's like, obviously, you know, like it's a very serious job and all that stuff. And obviously, if, like, your friend like grabbed your phone and answered it and it was your boss and they were joking around, like, that's not okay. But then to like completely like cut away from all relationships in your life. We see Nate the most because obviously he's living with her and he's the boyfriend, but she like doesn't talk to her parents anymore, pulls away from all of her friends, like fucks over a fellow colleague who his dream, Emily Blunt, her dream was to go to Paris. Anne Hathaway gets to go to Paris in Emily's stead and fucking does it. That's not a girl's girl.
I mean, yeah, she's a bad person in it as well.
So I
Maybe
think
she's
like
the villain of the story.
Anne Hathaway,
Yeah,
her character at least. I that's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah,
I'm
not Anne Hathaway.
no, sorry, yes. It's her autobiography. She's a bitch. No, that's why I think like it's, for me, I see it as easy to like mix up Nate as being like gaslighty and manipulative because I feel like every situation besides this one, he would definitely be that. But I think calling her out for her bullshit and her being like, fuck you, you just don't want me to succeed. We're like, no, bitch. You just want like all the gifts, all the ends. And you're like totally turning your back on other circles of your life, and he's calling you out for it, and you're spinning it into something it's not.
That's a good take.
Thank
that
you.
Anne Hathaway is the villain.
Yeah. Well,
I still
hold
don't see
on.
it as a rom-com.
That's more than fair, but it gives me the like warm, toasty vibes of a rom-com. What's this bitch's name? Andy. That's her name. Sorry. That way we can stop accusing Anne Hathaway of things she didn't do.
I don't think anyone thinks that.
That's fair. But, you know, now that we're public figures, we have to, like, you know, go to different lengths to protect ourselves legally.
Sure.
The next one.
Yeah, when I talk to Anne, I'll make sure to apologize.
Yeah. Well, we won't need to because we'll have clarified in this episode that we don't mean her. We mean her character. Andy. 27 Dresses.
I've never seen that.
Oh my god, it's so good. I mean, it's not very good, but it has a special place in my heart. Do you know what it's about? Do you know the plot?
She goes to
at
like
all?
27 weddings?
Okay, so you do. Yeah, she's a wedding planner. And
no, I thought she was like invited to and was in 27 weddings.
And she, for a weird plot hole that we just never really explore is she's their wedding planner, and then her clients always have her in the wedding party.
That's weird.
It is strange.
That doesn't happen.
No, it simply does not. Interestingly enough. I suppose it's an homage to like she's so good at her job, but yeah, so she has 27 bridesmaid dresses that are like these like ridiculous colors and themes.
Yeah.
The
early 2000s.
Yes. Oh, and then her little sister ends up getting engaged to the main character's crush. Yes. And so now she's planning their wedding. And like it's like tensions between the sister, because the sister is engaged to the crush, but the sister has like totally lied about who she is. She's like, oh, I'm vegetarian, I'm a philanthropist, I'm this, I'm that. And Katherine Heigl's like, what the fuck are you doing? You're lying to him. Like the only reason he wants to marry you is because you're all these things that you're not. And she's like, oh, please don't tell him. Like, I know. You should watch it. Kyle would love it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
That does sound fun.
It's like, if nothing else, it's really good, and it's so fun to hate the sister, like, because she really is like, love you, Sammy, like all the tropes of a youngest sister, like very much. And I mean, I wish I hadn't said Sammy's name because it really doesn't apply to her, but
She's just the youngest.
she just happens to be the youngest, and so I was like, get her. And if I go after my sister, it's a hate crime, so go after.
Yeah, true.
So it's like the youngest sister like has everything kind of handed to her. She's very spoiled. She's a daddy's girl. Her big sister's a wedding planner, so she's like having her big sister like plan the wedding for free. She wants this guy. She goes after him. She does what she needs to do to get him, but it's lie about who she is. And so she's such a fun character to be like, fuck you. You suck for this. You guys should definitely watch it and tell me what you think, because it's so fun. I really want to watch it now.
Have you ever seen 4 Weddings and a Funeral?
Nope.
Oh God. You have to watch that. It made me think of it because of the excess of weddings. It's Hugh Grant in his rom-com era. And it's a bunch of best friends who attend 4 weddings, and they're in their mid to late 20s, British, early 2000s. It's a fantastic movie. There's a gay couple.
My mom.
There's a stoic woman.
Just generally.
She's very stoic.
Fascinating. Very cool.
There's Hugh Grant, who is a disaster all the time.
Right.
And he's just got this like perfectly messed up hair, and he's like, oh, how do I do anything? That's my impression of Hugh Grant in his 20s.
You looked like an ice cube was falling down your back. Just for the people who don't watch and only listen, now you know what she looked like.
And then his best friend is this very short girl with bright red hair that is just stands straight up, kind of like a troll. The troll dolls.
I can't like picture what this person looks like in like without it being animated.
And she is basically an animated person in the movie, at least. Really funny. I was about to give more away, but that's just the plot. It's really fun. It's really funny. And Hugh Grant is in love with this woman they meet at one of the weddings, whose name I can't remember right now.
For sure.
Hold on, because you'll know who it is. Andy McDowell.
I feel like I'm going to kick myself for not knowing.
Yeah.
I recognize the name, but I can't put the face to it. Not Andy Murray, but I do love him.
It's like MacDowell.
Oh, yes. Yes, because Margaret Qualley's mom.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, you know Margaret Qualley.
Sure.
She was in The Substance. Okay.
What's The Substance?
You never heard of this with Demi Moore and Margot Qualley? It's a horror movie that actually like got critical acclaim, like Academy acknowledgement. I feel
like I just saw something on Instagram of the two of them.
Yeah,
and I just knew it was Demi Moore, and they were saying they're the same person, and I was like, oh, that's her daughter.
It's God damn it.
She looks so much like her.
Yeah, that's the idea.
So much like her that I almost thought I was almost going to say that this character was Demi Moore, but I was like, no, it's definitely not.
No, yeah.
So you should watch 4 Weddings and a Funeral because it's very funny. It might be becoming one of my top movies.
Interesting. Okay.
Hugh Grant is great in it.
Yeah, I know my mom is I think she's a fan. It's so difficult. I always think she likes something, and then I tell her about it, and she's like, "Mwah." I'm like, what? It's literally everything you like.
You should watch it. That's how I feel about you sometimes. But it's a really fun movie. It's got a bit of seriousness because of the funeral.
Oh, is it the little red girl? Does she die?
No.
Oh, okay, that's good.
No, I won't tell you who it is.
Okay, I'll look it up later.
No,
I won't. I won't look it up. I know that upsets you.
Do it. It is.
It upsets and angers everyone around me, and I wish it didn't.
It's an annoying thing to do. You wish it didn't upset us, or you wish you learned your lesson? Because I wish you learned your lesson.
I wish that I I never want to do anything to upset the people I love, and I wish
What would you do?
that they were, and I wish that they weren't so deeply distressed by my just very casual Googling.
So when we watch movies, as the movie is starting up, Ellie will go on her phone and Google the plot of the movie, of the entire thing. And she will read how the movie ends. And then
Not
we watch it.
aloud, but to myself.
Yeah.
It's important.
And then we'll get to the end of the movie and she'll be like, it was fine. And I think it was fine because she knew it was going to happen. She has no emotions in it anymore. She has no, like, there's no feelings because she knows, like, if there's any trouble, she already knows it's going to work out.
Yeah, and we don't get that in life, so I grasp for it in any fucking situation that I can.
I won't accept this.
That's fine.
The point of a movie is to escape from your own troubles.
And I do by knowing
troubles from another person.
And I do by knowing what is going to happen.
No, it's unacceptable that you do this.
I know. It literally, when I watch a movie with my brother, and it's like a movie that he wants to show me, he literally, like, I'll get curious. And as, like, the movie's starting, he's like, are you on your phone?
Yeah, that's what I do.
Yeah. And
next time you and I watch a movie together, phones are going on the table.
It's an invasion of my privacy. I could be texting someone a very personal thing, very privately.
If you and I are watching a movie, not a chance you could be texting anyone else something more personal than everything you've told me.
True. I also said that to my brother, and he was like, the screen is white. I know it's a fucking Wikipedia page. And I was like,
because you have to wear your glasses when you watch a movie so people can see your screen.
I don't like
wearing. You have to stop doing this. It's disappointing for everyone around you. You must change immediately. Here's a rule. If it's a movie someone else wants you to watch, you can't do it. If it's a movie you're going to watch yourself, who cares? No one else is involved.
So how about this? I'll do you one more interesting. I need a verbal request not to look the movie up beforehand.
I can guarantee you I've done that every single time I've recommended a movie to you.
I'm telling you this starting now. Let's not dwell on the past. We're trying to change. We're trying to be better. Let's not start pointing fingers at, past disputes.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll be here forever. Starting now, I will not, if it's something that is genuinely important to the viewer, they really want me to see the movie. But, I can't read minds. I'm just a girl. So I need a verbal cue of do not look this up. Do not look at the end. Because I want you to experience it in real time.
I do think you can come to that conclusion when someone says, I want you to watch this.
Right.
So I feel like if anyone recommends a movie to you and wants to know your take on it, don't look it up.
I can give you my take in within the minute, within the fortnight. No. Otherwise, it's too vague.
No, but that's not a take. That's reading a summary. That's a shorter version of the story.
It's me taking the summary from Wikipedia and reading it.
Yeah. Okay, well, I am verbally requesting to you now. Watch Four Weddings and a Funeral. Do not look it up.
Okay. That's fair. I won't. Because
what you think of it.
The verbal request was made. So now I know. And I won't. Ooh, but next episode, your homework, your assignment is you now have to come to me with a list of scary movies that you like. Doesn't have to be long, just ones that you recall watching and were like, damn, that was actually good. This is not my genre, but that was actually good.
I can do that.
Wonderful. Because people are going to be on the edge of their seat. They're going to be,
oh
my God, we have to subscribe, and we have to leave a like, we have to comment, because we got to know what this fucking idiot's horror movie.
We have to know what the scaredy cat is willing to view.
True. See? Exactly. You guys might be surprised. She's got thicker skin than you think. Well, you actually might not be surprised. This is
You're not gonna be surprised at all. It's
reptilian armor skin. But
Ellie forces me to watch these movies. And then I'm like, that was fine.
That was actually really good.
My heart's still racing, but it's okay.
But it was good. It was good.
What other movie do you need to watch? You should watch Pretty Woman.
Yeah, I know. You were her for Halloween. I feel like I need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's obviously a weirdly messed up Cinderella story, but
It's okay.
it's great actors. So.
Yeah, fair enough. For sure. Richard Gere was my neighbor for a time. Anyway,
Brag.
that's the show. I know. Tune in 2 weeks. This has been Office Hours.
Bye.
Bye.